All right, so time for a Hankook Guitar Standings update. And so we thought we'd do things a little bit differently here with Memorial Day kind of marks just past the quarter pole. So these are numbers that apply to every year past. It has really nothing to do with this year, but they're just stats here. So since the wild card era began in '94, 52% of the teams at least to share the division lead into the Memorial Day. They've gone on to win the division. And then 64+% of the teams made the postseason. Since '95, only one season has had all 6 first-place teams on Memorial Day win their division. 1998, that happened. But that's in the past. A lot of times you get numbers about like Game 7s and series. People say, oh, well, then the team's got a 70% chance of winning because no. Those are numbers that are gone.
Right.
So now we're dealing with the future. So that's what I want to get from you guys here.
Okay.
So let's first start. Jake, I'm going to start with you first here. Which second-place team in the division do you think is going to end up winning the division?
I like the White Sox, Fran. I really do. In the American League Central, I think if you look at their strength of schedule, it's been favorable. It's been unfavorable for them and favorable for Minnesota, who's in front of them. Minnesota, I think there's some questions. Chicago is the first-place team from last year. I think they still have that swag. Cliff, they got a guy named Lance Lynn down there getting ready. Jimenez on the way back. Tim Anderson, until this last little bout with getting hurt, was playing with a little swag. I believe in Tony La Russa's leadership there. I know that there's been some questioning around the Chicago White Sox, but I believe that they eventually get it done going down the stretch.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, Luis Roberts, he just got back. When they put TA on the IL, he came off. I mean, look.
They need everybody healthy, though.
They need everybody healthy.
Yeah, right.
My team is the Cardinals in the NL Central. I just think that they always seem to stay around. They always figure out something. They got the youngsters coming up, and Nolan Gorman and Brendan Donovan. Friend, you talked about them earlier. Those two rookies have given them a boost, right? We talked about Goldie. He's been outstanding. Pretty much carried in the month of May. But when you think about the Brewers, they're leading the league in homers. So I get that. The pitching staff is solid. I get that. Josh Hader, he's there. You're gonna have to You're gonna have to catch them and really, hope that the Brewers fall on their face a little bit. But the Cardinals, they're going to keep the pressure on. And if you have a hiccup, I think they can catch the Brewers and pass them. That's only if the top 3 in the rotation should fall. Josh Hader's not the same, and the offense, who I think is more suspect than anything I just said, would probably hinder them from winning it. Because I think the Brewers will figure it out.
Yeah, the Brewers are going to pitch.
They're going to pitch. The offense is.
St. Louis has got a feel-good story, and when you always look for something a little bit bigger, when you put those 40-year-olds, those guys who've been there so long, the return of Pujols,
something
special in St. Louis.
Man.
You guys are gushing about my Cardinals. I hope you're right here.
Oh.
But the other thing, too, by the way, hey, they've got an ace at some point who was going to come back.
That's right.
Jack Flaherty.
Jack Flaherty. I haven't even mentioned him.
That's right. I'm just about to say, without him all year long, Wayne Owens and some guys really bridging a nice gap. But to stay up with that Milwaukee pitching staff, they're going to need a Flaherty to come back and be crucial down the stretch.
All right, Jake, let me go to you on this one here. Which supposed playoff contender that people talked about in the offseason and so far through 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season are you pulling the plug on?
I'm pulling the plug in Seattle. I hate to do this because I was excited about some of their young talent. I was excited about some of their young pitching. But pitching has been their downfall. In May, it has just fallen apart almost to the clip of a 5 ERA. And, Cliff, you can't win if you're giving up 5 runs a night. I don't care how well you hit. And some of the young guys have struggled. Robbie Ray got off to a touch of a tough start after a Cy Young Award year. But I'm out. I think it's too tough of a mountain to climb. I think Seattle's tough.
I mean, look, they're 8 games back below
Soft.
500, 10.5 games back already, and it's good to see Kyle Lewis back, and he's had some thump, but it is a big hill.
Texas
to climb.
playing better, Anaheim a better team. You're in trouble.
I thought Seattle was better. I did. I mean, I'm going with the Boston Red Sox. I just did a game with them Friday for Apple, and they had a 6-0 lead against Baltimore, which Baltimore's a lot better team.
Yes, yep.
But you've never seen that type of team blow a lead in Fenway. 6-0 in the first couple innings. You think that team is dead, what they playing, and it just didn't happen. Baltimore inched back into that game. At one point, they had 10 unanswered. They scored 10 runs to Boston nothing. But it's not even about that. It's about the bullpen. They have the most blown saves in the sport, right? So if you're going to have 12 blown saves, and then you only have 8, saves on the season. So if you look at everything that's transpired, and I said it earlier in the show, you're gonna waste a talented offense that's incredible to watch hit consistently because you can't pitch out of the bullpen. And they took one kid out, and that's Garrett Whitlock. He's a starter now.
Yep.
Pitched great the other night. Get a chance. Had his most innings pitched in the whole season. But what are they going to do? At some point, you have to make a decision on, does he go back to the bullpen and you suffer in rotation, or you figure out some way or another, because they got money. Chaim Bloom has been on the side of understanding what pitching is and how you're going to win ball games, because he was down there with the Rays. Jake, I just don't know how you get to the precious 3 outs of the game, or even middle relief, and not be able to figure out how you're going to put wins in the win column. It's shocking to see.
Well, they're just running out of time because they're in a very good division that you're not going to be able to climb back in it. You're going to have to play the Yankees and Toronto and Tampa every night.
Yeah.
Like you said, when Baltimore's beating up on you, you're in trouble.
You just hurt Jake's heart, man.
It did hurt my heart, though.
You said his Red Sox got
Well, you say itching the pitch. Go, Jake, you might get that thing going.
last one before we go here. All right, which team who's right now on the outside looking in is definitely going to make the postseason?
The Atlanta Braves, Fran. They're going to look. These guys are on a World Series hangover. To play through October and win a World Series, you're playing when everybody else is at home, getting that rest and starting to train. The Braves, as a whole, have had a long off season. You celebrate, you lose your hero and leader in Freddie Freeman. They've had a lot of questions. Like I said, they're tired. You look at a Charlie Morton who pitched so long and then ends the season on a broken leg that has to rehab, and people are talking about a slow start. Charlie Morton is going to be fine. I look for him to have a good start tonight. The Atlanta Braves, we know Anthopoulos will make moves. I think he's going to have to do some. Atlanta Braves will get in and have a chance to repeat.
I think it's a great point about the postseason hangover, because you're playing more baseball than anybody else. You're doing all the celebrating. So it takes a second to kind of jumpstart and then get your season rolling. Who's your team?
Southside White Sox.
Okay.
I mean, look, they've been banged up since the start of the season. You just lost TA to the IL. They've just, they have to figure out a way to get this roster back situated where you can, go up there and tell the Twins, my bad. Yeah, you are playing good, but this is our division to win. If they get those guys back, you just mentioned Lance Lynn, they should be fine.